away the tackle. Marsden has got it! Darcy Marsden!
Fairest, they've beaten the home side at 30.
Devils are on the board.
Oh, and it's over! Hooperoo has won.
As it goes out to the left pocket. Great grab.
The set shot goes over the umpire. For the first time today, the Red Lionesses lead on the board.
Kick from 35. Davidson is going to stop the party early. Davidson celebrates as the Red Lionesses are the premiers for 2021.
A very good evening and welcome to the AFL Queensland State League Awards night, where we'll present the 76th J.A Grogan Medal and the inaugural Emma Zielke Medal. I'm Sarah Owens, Media Manager for the AFL in Queensland, and it's my pleasure to be your MC for tonight's virtual event. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands across southeast Queensland in which we all gather this evening and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Tonight we celebrate the achievements of the players, officials and volunteers in the QAFL and the QAFLW, the premier men's and women's Australian rules competitions in the state, as well as showcasing some of the best moments from the season. I'd like to give a special shout out to our former Grogan medalists and QAFLW Best and Fairest winners who are watching this evening and acknowledge the impact they've had on our game. I'd also like to recognise our partners and sponsors and thank them for their ongoing support and investment in football in Queensland. Wherever you are right now, in your clubhouse or your living room, thank you for joining us and we really hope you enjoy what we've put together for you. We're going to get straight into presenting tonight's awards, and to kick off the evening, I invite Head of AFL Queensland, Tricia Squires, to make some opening remarks.
Thank you, Sarah, and good evening, everyone. On behalf of AFL Queensland, I extend my thanks to everyone involved in State League football in Queensland for a fantastic 2021 season. The standard and profile of the QAFL and QAFLW competitions continues to rise year on year, and in season 2021 we've got a lot to celebrate. The inclusion of 2 new clubs into the QAFL, Redland Victoria Point Sharks and the Noosa Tigers, an inaugural QAFLW Premiership for the University of Queensland, the naming of the QAFLW Best and Fairest Award after a champion in our game, the Emma Zielke Medal, a partnership with NITV to showcase our competitions to a national audience while also showcasing our Indigenous talents, some fantastic theme rounds, and importantly, we're completing the QAFL season and awarding premierships next weekend. Through the committed efforts of everyone involved, our great game continues to go from strength to strength with record participation achieved this year. We saw 11% growth in community footy registrations compared to 2019, which is a fantastic achievement. The future of football in Queensland is bright. And a large part of that is because of the many great people, the many great clubs and great communities who love footy and contribute to its success. Similar to last year, this season has presented COVID challenges, but again with the resilience of clubs and everyone involved, we've found ourselves in a really fortunate position of playing grand finals next weekend. A special mention to the work undertaken by all the team at AFL Queensland, particularly the community footy team under the leadership of Barry Gibson and Matt Bilkowski for putting on the 2021 QAFL and QAFLW seasons. I'd also like to acknowledge the contribution of our umpires. Their tireless efforts are critical to running the competitions, and we are super appreciative of their support and commitment to community footy. Finally, I'd like to recognise and thank our valued naming rights partner and major sponsor of our QAFLW competitions, Bond University, for their commitment to female footy and ongoing support of our game. Congratulations to all award winners this evening, and best of luck to our grand finalists next weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Trish. Let's get straight into our awards as we recognise who shone in front of the big sticks this year as we award our leading goal kickers. Starting with our QAFL Colts leading goal kicker, with 38 goals from Labrador, congratulations to Kai Nichols. Our QAFL Reserves leading goal kicker, from Surfers Paradise with 36 goals, congratulations to Cameron Poharama. Our QAFLW Development League leading goal kicker, with 24 goals from Cooperoo, congratulations to Kelsey Crosby. In our QAFLW, our leading goal kicker, we had two sharpshooters that share the accolades this year, with the premiership winning full forward from the University of Queensland with 20 goals. Congratulations to Grace Brennan. And also to Yeronga South Brisbane's Alexia Edwards, also kicking 20 goals. Let's check out some of those highlights.
The University of Queensland's Grace Brennan kicked 20 goals for the Red Lions in 2021. Her best days out were a 5-goal haul in round 5 against Aspley and a 3-goal game in round 1 against Wilson Grange.
It's really close to the player on the mark, but that doesn't matter because it's straight through the middle. Brennan adds another one to her tally.
Hands over the top of Vetter. Is that Brennan running round? It's a bit of a dribbling kick. Number 20 for the year, Grace Brennan needed that.
Brennan also kicked 2 goals on grand final day to help lead her side to premiership glory.
For the first time today, the Red Lionesses lead on the board.
Yeronga South Brisbane's Alexia Edwards also shares the 2021 leading goal kicker accolades, kicking 20 goals. Her best day out came in round 2, where Alexia kicked 4 goals against Wilson Grange at Lyshon Park. In her 12 outings for the Devils, she managed to kick a goal in every game bar one in a fantastic year in front of the big sticks.
And finally, the Ray Hewson Medal for the Quaffle leading goal kicker. From the Broadbeach Cats with 55 goals, congratulations to Jordan Moncrief. Let's see some of those goals.
Broadbeach's Jordan Moncrief kicked 55 goals in 12 games for the Cats in 2021, averaging over 4.5 goals a game. His biggest tally came against Mount Gravatt, where he kicked 10, also with a 9-goal haul against Wilson Grange. Jordan also had 3 other games where he kicked 6 goals during the year.
Question of accuracy, it's straight through the high diddle-diddle. And they're on the way to another outstanding win to cap off this.
Congratulations, Jordan. It's now time to present the first of our Best and Fairest awards, starting with our QAFL Colts. Let's take a look at the final top 10 leaderboard for the Clem Ryan and Keith Wallace medal. On 8 votes from Noosa, Martin Kelly. We've got 5 players on 9 votes and 3 of them are from Morningside. Samuel Gorman, Damien Martin and Caleb Hammond. Also on 9 votes, Levi Fife from Labrador and Dakota King from Mount Gravatt. Tying with 11 votes from Maroochydore, Harrison Drew and Zach Nussey from Palm Beach Currumbin. On 12 votes from Labrador, Nathan Wright. And our 2021 Clem Ryan and Keith Wallace medalist on 19 votes from the Maroochydore Roos is Thomas Cuthbert. Congratulations, Thomas. The QAFL Reserve's Best and Fairest is awarded the Bill Clerk Medal. Here's the final top 10 leaderboard. On 7 votes from Wilston Grange, Danny Conway. Also on 7 votes from Labrador, Bill Hicks. We've got 2 players on 8 votes from Palm Beach Currumbin, Sean Brooks, and from Redland Victoria Point, Silly Velio Lehamana Packow. On 9 votes from Surfers Paradise, Mitchell Hopkins, and from Labrador, Joshua Connolly. Also on 9 votes and also from the Surfers Paradise Demons, Daniel Gordon. On 10 votes from Labrador, Patrick Turner. Another player polling 10 votes from Morningside, Alexander Nelson. And our 2021 Bill Clerk medalist on 13 votes from Morningside, TJ Halkias. Congratulations, TJ. Now we'll present the Bond University QAFLW Development League Best and Fairest Award. Let's go through the final leaderboard. We've got 3 players who've polled 7 votes, from Aspley, Sophie Ayres, from Yeronga South Brisbane, Elise Glynn, and from Bond University, Ellie Taylor. We're squared up on 8 votes with 4 players, from Coorparoo, Adair Henderson, also from Coorparoo, Ellie Bowden, from Maroochydore, Alyssa Armstrong, and also from Maroochydore with 8 votes, Mary Beth Banks. On 10 votes from the University of Queensland, Elizabeth Way. On 12 votes from Coorparoo, Sally Young. And our 2021 Bond University QAFLW Development League Best and Fairest winner with 15 votes from the University of Queensland, Louise Tyson. Congratulations, Louise, on your outstanding season. It's now time to shine a light on our theatrical players as we look at the nominations for the Goal and Marks of the Year in our QAFL and QAFLW competitions. And here are the nominations for the 2021 Bond University QAFLW Goal of the Year.
Ground level, Malone gives a roll, hip and shoulder, it's back at ground level, nice little groundwork here. Here go the Devils through Magore as she sends it towards, it's just going to roll end over end and it's a good goal! The umpires like it and they say, yep, have the 2-finger salute. And it's a major post by the Hornets just to put it out in front. It's just going to go into the forward pocket in front of the old members area. Nice little step around there by Jarrett. Puts it through! Good goal by the Hornets. Jarrett, very smart, just to step back on the inside. To McNeil, right foot kick, looking for Day. Which way is it going to bounce? It'll pull up short, which will suit her. Dade over the top now to McNeil. McNeil, right foot kick, hugging the bender, and that is out of this world, insane! Wow! Can you do that, Mitch? I don't think so. No way. Crowley long, she arches the back, left foot kick up towards half forward, over the head there of Yoshida Martin. She's got speed to burn and she'll use it to advantage. She doubles back, sidesteps one, right foot kick. Can Hamlin get a hand on it? No! That's an incredible goal from Yoshida Martin.
And our winner from Coolangatta Tweed, Katara Farah. Congratulations, Katara. Let's take a look at the nominations for the 2021 Bond University QAFLW Mark of the Year.
Looking for a target up field is Shackleton. Lovely grab, that one's for the highlight reel. Oh, lovely.
We're getting used to her at centre half back. That has been where Aspley's dominated today. Defending across that line.
45, and you can probably see why as it goes out to the left pocket. Great grab. Oh, lovely by Maroochydore.
Maggie Harmer.
There's one for the Bond University QAFLW socials. If you're watching at home, put it up.
And our winner, also from Coolangatta Tweed, is Brittany Perry. And a shout out here to Jessie Hart, who snapped this action shot. Congratulations, Brittany. To the QAFL, and here are the nominations for the 2021 QAFL Goal of the Year. And our winner from the Surfers Paradise Demons, congratulations to Jack Prestiger. Well done, Jack. Let's now take a look at the nominations for the 2021 QAFL Mark of the Year.
In the QAFL, fantastic footballer. As Grange go forward.
Big pick up. Oh my goodness gracious!
Magnificent mark.
Kiosk, soared to the high heavens. This is what you come to footy to pitching.
That is magnificent. That right in front of our commentary position there. Oh, the balance in the air. You wouldn't know it was a windy day. That was absolutely brilliant. Number 8.
And our winner from the Redland Victoria Point Sharks is Jared Huddy. Before we take a look at Jared's highlights, a shout out to Dion Menzies from High Flyer Images for capturing this great shot. Congratulations, Jared. I'd now like to introduce Matt Bilkowski, Queensland State League's competition manager, to assist with the announcing of our next round of awards.
Thanks very much, Sarah, and good evening, everyone. The QAFLW Rising Star is awarded to the under-19s player voted best throughout the year by the head coaches of our Bond University QAFLW clubs. Let's take a look at the final 2021 Bond University QAFLW Rising Star Top 10 leaderboard. Starting on 5 votes from Coolangatta Tweed, Imogen Evans. On 6 votes from Yeronga South Brisbane, Zimoli Farquharson. Also on 6 votes from Aspley, Charlotte Mullins and Bree McKenzie. On 8 votes from the University of Queensland, Ava Seaton. On 10 votes from the Maroochydore Roos, Bella Smith. On 11 votes from Bond University, Lucy Single. On 12 votes also from Bond University, Michaela Pauger. On 13 votes from the Maroochydore Roos, Maggie Harmer. And our 2021 Bond University QAFLW Rising Star with 15 votes from the Wilson Grange Gorillas is Abby Hewitt. Congratulations, Abby, on your fantastic season. Let's check out some of Abby's highlights for her year with the Wilson Grange Gorillas.
Wilson Grange's young gun, Abby Hewitt, a young talent with a bright future ahead of her. Abby starred in 11 QAFLW games for the Gorillas this year, kicking 4 goals.
And Abby Hewitt, she's got her 3rd goal of the season.
Abby received Rising Star votes by 5 of the 8 QAFLW clubs in the post-season review.
The QAFL Rising Star is awarded to the standout player under 20 years of age. At the end of the season, the QAFL coaches voted on the player that stood out all year with their on-field performances. Here is the final 2021 QAFL Rising Star Top 10 leaderboard. Starting on 5 votes from Surfers Paradise, Blair Ryan. Also on 5 votes from the Wilson Grange Gorillas, Will McKenzie. On 7 votes from Labrador, Tom Reeves. Joining him on 7 from Sherwood, Riley Green. And also on 7 votes from Surfers Paradise, Max Pescud. On 9 votes from the Morningside Panthers, Nathan Colenso. On 10 votes from the Broadbeach Cats, Bodie Uland. And also on 10 votes, all the way from Noosa, Will O'Dwyer. And on 14 votes from Surfers Paradise, Sam Hilton-Joyce. And edging out the win, our 2021 QAFL Rising Star with 18 votes from the Labrador Tigers is Cooper Anderson. A big congratulations to Cooper. Let's take a look at some of his highlights from the 2021 season.
Labrador's Cooper Anderson has excelled in the Tigers outfit in 2021, kicking 23 goals in the 13 games he's played for the Yellow and Black. The former Beanley Junior has cemented his spot in the Tigers lineup over the past few seasons, providing a lot of versatility to the Labrador forward line. Cooper's best outing came in round 15 against rivals Surfers Paradise, where he kicked 4 goals.
The Bond University QAFLW MVP is awarded to the most valued player as voted by the competition's head coaches at the end of the season. Let's take a look at our top 10 leaderboard. Starting on 5 votes from Wilson Grange, Caitlin Day. On 5 votes from Cooperoo, Ali Anderson. On 6 votes from the University of Queensland, Megan Hunt. On 6 votes from Bond University, Lucinda Puller. On 7 votes from Bond University, Lucy Single. Also on 7 votes from University of Queensland, Dakota Davidson. On 8 votes from the University of Queensland, Luca Yoshida Martin. On 9 votes from Bond University, Ellie Hampson. And on 12 votes from Maroochydore, Jacqueline Dupay. This year's Bond University QAFLW MVP edging out the win with 13 votes from the Maroochydore Roos, Chloe Gregory. What a season from Chloe. Let's take a look at some of her highlights.
Chloe featured in all 14 of the Roos home and away games this season, as well as their 2 finals games, booting 6 majors along the way.
Gregory with an opportunity around the body, and that has gone through. Chloe Gregory has opened the scoring for the Maroochydore Roos.
Chloe received votes from 5 of the 8 QAFLW clubs in the post-season review. Expect big things from this 19-year-old in years to come.
It hangs out to the left. and it's come back nicely, and it's a goal.
The Sid Guildford Trophy is awarded to the QAFL Most Valued Player, as voted by the QAFL head coaches on a week-to-week basis. Each coach votes 5-1 for each game, and all players have the ability to score 10 votes per game. And here is the final top 10 leaderboard for the Sid Guildford Trophy. On 30 votes, from Mount Gravatt, Gavin Gross. Also on 30 votes, from Broadbeach, Josh Searle. On 32 votes, from Surfers Paradise, Matt Green. On 34 votes, from Maroochydore, Josh Govan. On 38 votes, from Broadbeach, Jordan Moncrief. On 41 votes from Broadbeach, Tyrone Armitage. On 47 votes from Redland Victoria Point, Caleb Franks. On 49 votes from Labrador, Tom Simpson. On 51 votes from Maroochydore, Jacob Simpson. And our 2021 Sid Guildford medalist from Palm Beach Currumbin is Jonathan Crode on an impressive 56 votes. Congratulations, Jonathan. Let's take a look at some of his highlights for the 2021 season.
The 29-year-old ruckman has made a huge impact on the QAFL for Palm Beach Currumbin. Kicking 9 goals from his 13 games in 2021, Jonathan Crode was recognised by the QAFL coaches as a man to watch every time they faced the Lions. Across the Sid Guildford weekly vote counts, Crode polled 9 times out of his 13 games and received a perfect 10 out of 10 in 2 games this year, also receiving an 8 and 7 along the way.
Well, congratulations, Jonathan. And I'd like to give a shout out to last year's winner, who polled very highly again this year from Maroochydore, Jacob Simpson. And with both Jacob and Jonathan as ruckmen, it's great to see our big men being rewarded for all their hard work. And a big hello to Sid Guildford, who we know is watching from home tonight. Now we'd like to acknowledge the 2021 Bond University QAFLW Team of the Year. These players have been selected by the competition's head coaches based on their performances over the course of the 2021 season, rising above their competition. But before we do, I'd like to give mention to Gary Nusafora and the team from Bond University, who are wonderful supporters of women's football in Queensland, as well as our naming right partners for the Bond University QAFLW competition. Now, starting with our back line. From the University of Queensland, in fullback, Jesse Henning. And our back pocket, from University of Queensland, Nat Grider. On our half-back flanks, from Bond University, Lucinda Puller. And from Maroochydore, Rachel Crack. And our centre half-back of the year, from Maroochydore, Maggie Harmer. In our midfield positions, starting on the wing, from Bond University, Ellie Hampson. And on the other wing, from University of Queensland, Maddie Crowley-Long. And our centre and captain of the 2021 Team of the Year, from University of Queensland, Megan Hunt. Our ruck, from Maroochydore, Jacqueline Dupay. And our rovers, also from Maroochydore, Chloe Gregory. And from Yeronga, South Brisbane, Madison Goodwin. And taking the full forward position, one of our leading goal kickers from the University of Queensland, Grace Brennan. And who kicked the goal of the year from Coolangatta Tweed, Katara Farah. Our half forward flanks from Bond University, Michaela Pauga. And on the other forward flank, University of Queensland's Luca Yoshida Martin. And our centre half forward for the year from Cooperoo, Emma McKenzie. Now onto our interchange. From Bond University, Shannon Dankett. Wilson Grange's Abby Hewitt. Cooperoo's Ariana Riley. Maroochydor's Kelsey Sills. And Aspley's Holly Monaghan. Congratulations to our team. It now gives me great pleasure to announce that the 2021 Bond University QAFLW Coach of the Year is Ross Clayfield from the Premiership-winning University of Queensland side. Congratulations to Ross and those named in the Bond University QAFLW Team of the Year. We now present the QAFL Team of the Year for season 2021. And like the QAFL team, these players have been selected based on their performance over the course of the year for 2021 by their competition head coaches. Starting with our back line. In the back pocket from Broadbeach and team captain Josh Searle. On the other back pocket, also from Broadbeach, Liam Nelson. And our 2021 fullback from Labrador, Jaden Young. Our halfback flanks from Morningside, Darcy Cameron Reeves, and from Surfers Paradise, Daniel Charlesworth. And our centre halfback from Mount Gravatt, Gavin Gross. On to the midfielders, starting with our wingman from Labrador, Pierce Handley, and Surfers Paradise, Jack Yelland. And our centre for the year from Labrador, Tom Simpson. And our Sid Gilfil medalist and ruck, Palm Beach Currumbans, Jonathan Crode. And our rovers from Broadbeach, Tyrone Armitage, and Maroochydores, Josh Govan. Onto our forward line, our half-forward flanks from Sherwood, Tom Bouch, and Morningside's Nathan Colenso. And our centre half-forward for 2021 from Labrador, Bryce Retzlaff. Our forward pockets, firstly from Maroochydore, Mitch Scollard, and Redland Victoria Point's Peter Yagmore. And our full forward and leading goal kicker from Broadbeach, Jordan Moncrief. Onto our interchange for this year, starting with Redland Victoria Point's Caleb Franks. From Sherwood, Will Fletcher. From Maroochydore, Jacob Simpson. And from Labrador, our rising star, Cooper Anderson. And I'm now very excited to announce that our 2021 QAFL Coach of the Year, as voted by his peers, is Nick Malcheski from the Labrador Tigers. It's the second accolade for Nick in as many weeks, recently awarded the 2021 Queensland Senior Coach of the Year. Congratulations to all of tonight's winners so far. And before we get into the QAFL and Bond University QAFLW Best and Fairest vote counting, I wanted to reflect on the 2021 seasons. I thought the 2020 State League seasons would be a year like no other, but 2021 certainly threw a few curveballs our way. The Bond University QAFLW managed to commence on time way back in the last week of February. The 2020 Grand Final rematch went Yeronga's way once again, victorious over the Coolangatta Bluebirds at Leichong Park. It wouldn't be too long, however, until the first speed bump of the year was put in front of us all. A significant rain event that covered the entire SEQ region resulted in a number of councils closing their venues, which impacted one fixtured QAFLW game and all of our QAFL pre-season matches. Fortunately for Bond University in Coolangatta, we managed to reschedule their washout a few weeks later in the competition bye-weekend. In the QAFL, we welcomed two new clubs to our competition this year, with the Noosa Tigers and the Redland Victoria Point Sharks. In the QAFL, round one got off to a flying start, with Quat Thox soaring high up in Noosa as the Wilston Grange Gorillas took their first win of the year. The Redland Victoria Point Sharks also kicked off the QAFL campaign with a win against Surfers Paradise. The 2020 QAFL Grand Final rematch saw Morningside host Broadbeach in round three in a highly contested and anticipated game at Jack Desplin Oval. The Cats were too good on this occasion, taking down the reigning premiers by 53 points, and in doing so, put the whole competition on notice. Throughout the year, it's been fantastic to see all clubs fully embrace our themed rounds. In April, we saw a number of memorable Anzac Day commemorations around the grounds, which paved the way for some blockbuster games, none greater than our long-awaited Sunshine Coast Derby between Maroochydore and Noosa. Pride Round was fantastically celebrated in May with an unbelievable day out at Giffen Park in Coorparoo, where we were treated to a spectacle of colour, diversity and inclusion, with all 8 Bond University QAFLW and development games played at the one venue. Broadbeach also put on a show down at Subaru Oval to celebrate Pride Round across their men's and women's programs. A big thanks to our AFLQ diversity team, who delivered the Racism It Stops With Me training across all State League clubs in the lead up to our 2 rounds celebrating our fantastic Indigenous culture during the AFL's Sir Doug Nicol round. Throughout Sir Doug Nichol's round, all QAFL and Bond University QAFLW clubs exchanged custom-made didgeridoos and clapping sticks that were commissioned by AFL Queensland to symbolise their respective stance against racism and promote our highly inclusive and diverse State League competition that we have. It was also a great achievement for our competition to showcase our Indigenous talent on NITV in 2021, and we were very excited to see nearly 100,000 views nationwide across the 11 rounds of the Bond University QAFLW and the first 2 rounds of the QAFL that aired. It was very special to showcase our great game across the lands of the Yagara and Turrbal people in Brisbane, the Gubbi Gubbi people on the Sunshine Coast, and the Quandamooka people in Redlands, and the Yugambeh language group on the Gold Coast. Our Bond University QAFLW Grand Final Day was initially impacted by a snap lockdown in southeast Queensland, but that made the Grand Final Day even sweeter for our premiers. Our largest QAFLW crowd ever was treated to two amazing games that crowned our very deserving teams in Bond University and in the Development League, and the first-time premiers, the University of Queensland in the Bond University QAFLW. Unfortunately, however, the QAFL would continue to feel the impacts of COVID lockdowns and the suspension of community football in the final weeks of the season, ultimately losing 5 rounds of football. But we thankfully were able to recommence and move straight into our final series. Our thoughts certainly go out to our friends in New South Wales, ACT and Victoria who have lost more of their season than we have up here and remain on the sidelines. As we now move into our round highlights and leaderboards for our Bond University QAFLW and the QAFL Best and Fairest Awards, it is with great pleasure that we get to announce the inaugural Emma Zielke Medal for the QAFLW Best and Fairest Award. She's already synonymous with women's football in Queensland and with a long and unrivalled list of achievements, and now the Emma Zielke name will be forever etched into our State League's football history with the naming of the QAFLW Best and Fairest Award as the Emma Zielke Medal. Let's take a look at when our iconic champion was told of the medal namesake.
I was actually a bit shocked, to be honest, to get the phone call, but obviously it's a huge honour to have a medal named after myself and my family. I've been playing in the Queensland Women's League for 15, 16 years now, so it's really special to me. I'm just so thankful that AFLQ even sort of put my name forward, and yeah, it's going to be really special to hear that every year someone's name, the best and fairest player of the league, is going to be holding that medal. From 2007 to 2021, the competition has grown so much, and it's become more professional. We've got more resources. The quality of the games is so much better, and yeah, it's really good to see how much it's improved.
To have our first captain of the group, I think it's a really special appointment for this particular person, given that it's the very first year, inaugural year of the competition. So really happy to say that our captain for 2017, our inaugural year in AFLW, will be Emma Zielke. Yeah.
You don't just win flags on one day from one game. That was like 5 years worth of really hard work, commitment, sacrifices. For it to all come to an end there, it was just amazing to be surrounded by the people that we were, that have all been a part of it from day one, especially. So yeah, it's going to go down in history as a fairy tale ending for me.
Yeah, I'm really proud of Emma. She's done so much for Queensland football and always been a massive leader in that space. She's always been someone I've looked up to. She's always had such a good knowledge of the game, and she's been able to create really good team culture at every team she's been at. I know she's created an incredible legacy at Cooperoo, and obviously at the Brisbane Lions she's been our leader for 5 seasons, was our premiership captain, and is one of the most inspiring leaders that you could have. So yeah, I'm really glad that she's got this nod. Now you've got every single chance and every pathway to possibly feel that you can be an AFLW player from when you're 8 or even when you're 19, when I first started. And I hope that AFL becomes the #1 sport here in Queensland for all the young girls.
A more than well-deserved medal namesake and a really special moment in the history of our QAFLW with the naming of the Emma Zielke Medal, which we're now only moments away from awarding its inaugural winner. So let's check out the action from the first 4 rounds of the QAFLW before we reveal our first leaderboard of the evening.
The 2021 Bond University QAFLW season got underway with a rematch between 2020 grand finalists Yeronga and Coolangatta. Devils forward Zimmy Farquharson ran rampant, kicking 3 goals as the reigning premiers ran out 57-point victors. The University of Queensland opened their account for the 2021 season in emphatic fashion with a 39-point win over Wilston Grange, with Red Lion star Grace Brennan kicking 3 majors. In round 2, Aspley made it 2 on the trot with a strong showing against Coolangatta, restricting the visitors to just 1-3 while kicking 7-8 themselves. It was a big afternoon at Lashon Park for Yeronga, with the Devils kicking 16-12 to the Gorillas 5-2 to cruise to a 76-point win. The round 3 match between Coorparoo and Maroochydore went right down to the wire, with the Roos leading by a point at the final break. An early goal in the 4th to Gabrielle Abbey Fairs proved enough to get Coorparoo over the line as the Kings emerged 1-point victors, with the Roos left to rue their inaccuracy. Round 4 tested the resolve of Coorparoo players and fans with another close finish, this time at St Lucia. Despite trailing to the University of Queensland by 8 points at three-quarter time, the away side kicked 2 goals to none in the final term to give the Kings another 1-point win. Meanwhile, the Bull Sharks flexed their muscles against Wilson Grange with a 69-point win, restricting the Gorillas to just 1 shot on goal for the game, with Jordan Hickey kicking 4 goals for Bond University.
And here was our Emma Zielke leaderboard at round 4. And it's already tied at the top with 4 players on 6 votes, including one of our 2020 winners from Yeronga South Brisbane, Jordan Zanchetta. Moving on to the QAFL, and the first 5 rounds displayed some outstanding footy. Let's check out the highlights from the opening rounds of this year's season.
The 2021 QAFL season got off to a flying start with competition newcomers, the Noosa Tigers, hosting Wilson Grange at Rococo Oval. In a nail-biting finish, Wilson Grange took the first win of the season with a 1-point victory. The opening game for fellow newcomers, Redland Victoria Point Sharks, saw them take on 2019 premiers, the Surfers Paradise Demons. The Sharks opened their 2021 account with a 52-point win. Maroochydor's first game of the season saw star forward Mitch Scollard kick an unbelievable 11 goals against hosts Wilson Grange in the Roos 100-point victory. Round 3 saw the 2020 Grand Final rematch with last year's premiers Morningside hosting Broadbeach at Jack Esplin Oval. The Mighty Cats asserted their dominance early in the game and set the tone for this season with a resounding 53-point win. 2021 minor premiers, the Labrador Tigers, chalked up their first win of their campaign with a close victory over Redland Victoria Point in front of an excitable home crowd at Cook Murphy Oval. Round 3 also saw a huge win for the Surfers Paradise Demons, who were too good for the Sherwood Magpies, running away with an 88-point win. In round 4, Broadbeach made the trip up to Sherwood all the sweeter, handing the Magpies their second huge loss on the trot. Cats forward Sam Jasper bagged 8 goals in the Cats' 102-point demolition. For the first time in 2 years, the Sunshine Coast rivalry was back, with Maroochydore hosting Noosa in a twilight Anzac Day clash, with the Roos winning by 70 points. And in round 5, Mount Gravatt had their first home game of the year against local rivals Redland Victoria Point, with the visitors prevailing by 22 points.
And here was our J.A Grogan leaderboard at round 5. We can see that Redland Victoria Point's Scott Miller and Morningside's Brock Aston got off to a flying start to the season, both on 7 votes. Back to our QAFLW, and here are the highlights from rounds 5 to 8.
It had been a tough start to the season for Coolangatta, being restricted to single-figure scores in 3 of their first 4 games. But in round 5, they shocked the competition with a 35-point win over the Red Lions, picking up their first victory of the season. In round 6, Bond University showed why they were the team to beat in 2021 with a 53-point demolition of Yeronga as Michaela Paelga kicked 4 of the Bull Sharks' 9 goals. UQ took their defeat to Coolangatta to heart and bounced back the next week to hand the Hornets a 61-point thrashing as superstar Grace Brennan slotted 5 majors to take her season tally to 11. In front of their home crowd at Hickey Park, Wilson Grange grabbed their first win of the season down in Coolangatta by 6 points in round 7.
It's a spearing like pass. The youngster shooting at ground level. All clear. Goal. Siren sounds. Gorillas win.
The high spirits for the Gorillas didn't last long, however, when they came head-to-head with a rampaging Bond University outfit in round 8. The Bull Sharks didn't hold back, kicking 10-9 and keeping Wilson Grange scoreless for the entire match. Coolangatta, meanwhile, picked up another shock win, this time over Asperley. Brittany Perry kicked 3 majors for the Bluebirds, paving the way for a 16-point victory against the Hornets.
And here was our Emma Zielke leaderboard at round 8. And we can see that Yeronga South Brisbane's Jordan Zanchetta is on 9 votes, and the University of Queensland's Mia Taubler on 10 votes are still holding strong at the top. But out of nowhere, the Bond University skipper Shannon Dankert is in the lead on 11 votes. Before we revisit our J.A Grogan Medal leaderboard, let's check out the action from the QAFL rounds 6 to 10.
Morningside kicked off round 6 with a thrilling 1-point win against local rivals, the Redland Victoria Point Sharks, in front of their Jack Espelin Oval faithful. Also in round 6, Jordan Moncrief provided the launch pad for Broadbeach's 54-point win against Wilson Grange, kicking 9 goals at Hickey Park. In round 7's Pride round, Jordan Moncrief was at it again, slotting 10 goals in front of a vibrant home crowd at Subaru Oval, taking on Mount Gravatt. Also in round 7, Labrador's Bryce Retzlaff bagged himself 7 majors away to Palm Beach Currumbin, guiding the Tigers to a 70-point win against their cross-town rivals. Mount Gravatt hosted Noosa in the round 8 clash at Southside Toyota Park, with the Vultures' Jonah Licht kicking 5 goals in their 88-point win. Sherwood took their first huge scalp of the season, beating Labrador at home by 40 points in round 8. Labrador had redemption the following week against Wilson Grange, with Patrick Turner putting 5 through the big sticks for the Tigers. Jordan Moncrief helped Broadbeach enjoy the trip up to sunny Noosa, kicking 6 goals in their 113-point win over the Tigers in round 9. In round 10's Sir Doug Nicholls round, the Sharks' Peter Yagball kicked 6 goals to guide Redland Victoria Point to a comfortable 96-point win at home.
Well, he pulls the trigger and he has got 6.
So after 10 rounds of the competition, here was our J.A Grogan Medal leaderboard. And from 3 votes to 14 votes, Broadbeach's Jordan Moncrief is out to a 2-vote lead over the D's Matthew Green on 10 votes, and 12 votes, Brock Aston from the Panthers. Back to our QAFLW, and here are the highlights from rounds 9 to 11.
In round 9, the reigning grand finalists met again, this time at Exham Oval, with Yeronga once again picking up a big win over Coolangatta. The Devils kicked a whopping 17 goals, 11 behinds to emerge 81-point winners, but it was 11 different goal kickers that would have left the coaches most pleased. Also in round 9, the Kings put in a stellar team performance of their own as they took down the Gorillas by 63 points, with 8 players chipping in for a total of 11 goals. Round 10 was Pride round in the QAFLW, and also an opportunity for Bond University and Maroochydore to show the rest of the competition they meant business. The Bull Sharks posted a resounding 44-point victory over Cooperoo, while the Roos belted the Devils to the tune of 6 goals.
Linda Howarth hands off to Ritson. Ritson with the banana. Got it. That's through the sticks.
The beauty about this game that we call AFL, putting it back nicely, runs to 30. Oh, the kick's good. That's a great...
Racing around, gets back to Dupay. Dupay's got space, he's got time, she's got a goal.
Clearly flawless, and she was easily the best player in the grand final.
In round 11, the Roos and Bull Sharks continued their strong run of form, with Maroochydore treating the crowd at Neil Upton Oval to a 70-point win over the Gorillas. Bond University, meanwhile, continue their dominant season, this time against Coolangatta. Bond superstar Kalinda Howarth bagged 5 majors for the home team as her side cruised to a 77-point victory.
Hard stuff. Campbell now just breaks through 1, 2, 3 for Muller. Muller just needs to get it nice and clearly on the right foot. Snaps! Points into Rex. Seals is there to create a bit of body work. Going to tap it in front of Muller. He picks it up cleanly, says, "Get out of my way! I know how to kick him."
And here's our Emma Zielke leaderboard after round 11. Bond University Shannon Dankin is still out in the lead with 13 votes, but Jordan Zanchetta from Yeronga South Brisbane is still in the mix with 11 votes. Things were heating up in the QAFL. Let's check out the highlights from rounds 11 to 13.
The highly anticipated round 11 clash between Broadbeach and Redland Victoria Point was played out on the Gold Coast at Subaru Oval. Broadbeach had the advantage after the first term, but a 4-goal haul from the Sharks' Harrison Kerr guided them to a close 14-point win. Labrador hosted Maroochydore in what was a seesawing affair at Cook Murphy Oval. Maroochydore certainly put the competition on notice with their strong showing, but the Tigers managed to get their whiskers in front by the final siren to win by 1 point. In round 12, Labrador handed Broadbeach their second loss of the year in a hotly contested match on the coast. After an even first quarter, the Tigers pressed hard in the second term and finished ahead by 20 points at the final siren. Back in Brisbane, Mount Gravatt took a huge scalp, taking down the Panthers at Jack Esplin Oval. The Vultures led at each turn and were eventual victors by a narrow 2-point margin. Round 13 saw another huge upset, with Sherwood defeating Broadbeach on the Gold Coast, handing the Cats their 3rd loss in a row. The Magpies swooped the Cats in the second half, flying away with a 26-point win. The final game of the round saw Noosa up against the top-side Labrador in a battle of the Tigers. Noosa shot out to an early 2-point lead at quarter time, but 9 goals from Patrick Turner helped Labrador claw their way back and take the game by 87 points.
So here was our J.A Grogan Medal leaderboard after round 13, and Morningside's Brock Aston and Redland Victoria Point's Scott Miller are right amongst it with 12 votes. Hot on Jordan Moncrief's tail is Matt Green from Surfers Paradise with 14 votes. And it's now time to start our vote reading for our QAFLW competition, and to do so, I'd like to welcome back Matt Bilkowski, but let's start by watching the highlights from round 12.
There was a clash of the heavyweights to kick off round 12, with Bond and Yeronga battling it out in a hard-fought, low-scoring affair. Despite their accuracy, kicking 310 for the day, the Bull Sharks emerged 7-point winners and continued their unbeaten streak. Maroochydore made the biggest road trip in the QAFLW in round 12, travelling to Exham Oval to take on Coolangatta. Despite the long drive, the Roos put together a massive 93-point win, while Emma Day kicked 6 majors, more than anyone else in a game this season. A season high 102 points was the difference when the high-flying University of Queensland side took on a struggling Wilston Grange outfit. The Red Lions restricted the Gorillas to just 2 points as their AFLW stars shined bright, with Greta Bodie and Dakota Davidson combining for 9 goals. Cooperoo showed that they don't rely on any one player in their win over the Hornets in round 12, with their 7 goals for the game coming from 6 different players. Aspley fought hard, but in the end, it was the Kings who came out on top by 25 points.
And puts it right over the umpire's hat for their 3rd.
And here we are for the votes for the 2021 Bond University QAFLW season, commencing in round 12. Coolangatta Tweed v Maroochydore. 1 vote, Maroochydore, Isabel Dawes. 2 votes, Maroochydore, Grace Pearson-Smith. 3 votes, Maroochydore, Emma Day. University of Queensland v Wilston Grange. 1 vote, University of Queensland, Brianna Conan. 2 votes, University of Queensland, Dakota Davidson. 3 votes, University of Queensland, Natalie Grider. Aspley v Coorparoo. 1 vote, Aspley, Sophie Conway. 2 votes, Coorparoo, Jess Wushner. 3 votes, Coorparoo, Talia Hickey. Bond University v Yeronga South Brisbane. 1 vote, Bond University, Ellie Hampson. 2 votes, Yeronga South Brisbane, Mia Walsh. 3 votes, Bond University, Lucy Single. And let's head across now to the round 13 QAFLW highlights.
UQ continued their hot streak in round 13 with a 72-point win over Aspley at St Lucia. Star forward Dakota Davidson added to her 5-goal haul last week with another bag of 4, while Rach Vedder chipped in with 4 of her own as well. A 7-goal-2 second quarter proved the difference when Coorparoo and Coolangatta met in round 13. Jess Wushner showed she still knows where the big sticks are, kicking 4 last quarter goals as the Kings cruised to a 62-point win. Maroochydores Rachel Crack celebrated her 100th game in front of a home crowd at Neil Upton Oval for the Roos clash with Bond University. But as they had all season, the Bull Sharks came out on top once again, this time by 15 points. The QAFLW celebrated Sir Doug Nicholls round in round 13 as the Gorillas played host to the Devils at Hickey Park. Led by Emily Bates' midfield work and Emily Zanke-Close's 3 goals, Yeronga went home 50-point victors to keep their finals dream alive.
And here we are for round 13 of the QAFLW season. University of Queensland v Aspley. 1 vote, University of Queensland, Stephanie O'Brien. 2 votes, University of Queensland, Dakota Davidson. 3 votes, University of Queensland, Nat Grider. Coorparoo v Coolangatta Tweed. 1 vote, Coorparoo, Ali Anderson. 2 votes, Coorparoo, Tori Groves Little. 3 votes, Coorparoo, Emma McKenzie. Wilston Grange v Yeronga South Brisbane. 1 vote, Wilston Grange, Abby Hewitt. 2 votes, Yeronga South Brisbane, Christine Okaseni. 3 votes, Yeronga South Brisbane, Emily Bates. Maroochydore v Bond University. 1 vote, Maroochydore, Jacqueline Dupay. 2 votes, Bond University, Lucy Single. 3 votes, Bond University, Shannon Dankett. Let's head across now to the QAFLW round 14 highlights.
It was a battle to avoid the wooden spoon to open round 14 as Coolangatta welcomed Wilston Grange to Exham Oval. The Gorillas led by 5 at the main break, but a 5-goal-2 second half was enough to secure the away side their second win of the season, but unfortunately not enough to overtake the Bluebirds on percentage. It took until the final round of the home and away season, but finally Bond University met their match when they encountered a rampaging Red Lions side. Despite trailing at the first break, UQ kicked 13-3 after quarter time to hand the Bull Sharks their first loss of the season by 65 points. For the second time this year, Greta Bodie and Dakota Davidson combined for 9 goals and led the way for their side. It was a tough day in front of the goals for the Hornets in round 14, kicking 0-9 in their match against Maroochydore. The Roos only had 3 more shots for the day than their opposition, but managed a comfortable 28-point victory to finish the home and away season. It all came down to the last game of the season for the Devils and Kings, with a spot in the finals on the line for the winner. Yeronga led by a solitary point at main break, but led by their veterans Ellie Anderson and Jess Wushner. Cooperoo stormed home with a 6-2 second half. The 26-point win was enough to secure their place in the top 4, while it was a heartbreaking end to the Devils season.
And what a fantastic season the 2020 Bond University QAFLW competition was. Let's take a look now at the final votes for our Emma Zielke medalists. Starting off with Coolangatta Tweed v Wilston Grange. 1 vote, Wilston Grange, Kirsten Tyquin. 2 votes, Coolangatta Tweed, Katara Farah. 3 votes, Wilston Grange, Brooke Sheridan. Aspley v Maroochydore. 1 vote, Aspley, Sophie Conway. 2 votes, Maroochydore, Jacqueline Dupai. Maroochydore, 3 votes, Chloe Gregory. Yeronga South Brisbane v Cooperoo. 1 vote, Bond University, Georgia Bremer. 2 votes, Cooperoo, Ali Anderson. 3 votes, Cooperoo, Jade Ellinger. Bond University v University of Queensland, the final game of 2021. 1 vote, University of Queensland, Rachel Vedder. 2 votes, University of Queensland, Nat Grider. 3 votes, University of Queensland, Dakota Davidson. It now gives me immense pleasure to announce that the inaugural Emma Zielke medalist in our 2021 Bond University QAFLW Best and Fairest from the Bond University Bull Sharks, Shannon Dankert. A huge congratulations to Shannon on your fantastic year. Let's check out some of your highlights.
Having only joined Bond University in 2019, the 24-year-old club captain always leads from the front and is a dominant force in the Bull Sharks lineup. Shannon Dankert guided her team with grit and determination and led them to a stellar season, only dropping 1 game across the home and away rounds.
Dankert, the captain, just sort of skips around one, sneaks it through.
Kicking 5 goals in the year, Shannon polled votes in 8 of her 13 games and was voted best on ground on 3 occasions. She guided her team all the way to the grand final, falling agonisingly close to the club's maiden premiership, and is a worthy recipient of the inaugural Emma Zielke Medal.
Congratulations, Shannon, on being our inaugural Emma Zielke medalist. Before we move on, let's recap the final standings of our leaderboard, and we can see on 11 votes our 2020 winner, Jordan Zanchetta, and also on 11 votes, and someone that came from the clouds at the end of the season, Natalie Grider from the University of Queensland, and of course our 2021 Emma Zielke medalist from the Bond University Bull Sharks on 16 votes, Shannon Dankert. Congratulations, ladies. Before we commence the J.A Grogan vote reading, let's recap the leaderboard as it stood at round 13. And on 12 votes from Morningside, Brock Aston is right there alongside Scott Miller from Redland Victoria Point Sharks, also on 12 votes. From Surfers Paradise, Matt Green is on 14 votes, and out on a 2-vote advantage from the Broadbeach Cats, Jordan Moncrief. Unfortunately, round 14 wasn't able to be played due to the snap lockdown in southeast Queensland, so we'll pick up things from round 15 and let's look at the highlights, and then it's over to Matt to read the votes.
Footy took a short reprieve in round 14 due to the COVID lockdown, but we managed to get back up and running in round 15. Broadbeach shook off their form slump of 3 straight losses, taking down Wilston Grange by 128 points at Subaru Oval. Troy Toussaint and Cody Harrington both bagged 4 goals, with the Cats astoundingly having 13 different goal kickers on the day. In the match of the round, Labrador hosted Surfers Paradise in the traditional Coldberg Cup game at Cook Murphy Oval. The Tigers came out fast and strong in the early parts of the game and led at each break. A special 3/4 time delivery from Surfers Paradise coach Brad Moore sparked a late comeback from his charges, and a behind in the dying stages of the match gave the visitors the win by 1 point in a Gold Coast thriller. Morningside travelled up the Bruce Highway to Maroochydore to try and get their second win against the Roos in 2021. The Panthers were dominant throughout, moving the ball with speed and precision, leading the game at every turn. Panthers' new recruit and young gun, Kelly Castle, kicked 6 goals to help the Panthers to a 20-point win. Mount Gravatt led Redland Victoria Point through the first quarter, but a 5-goal-1 second quarter from the Sharks pulled them ahead by half-time. The Vultures then booted 5-2 in the third term, drawing them within 3 points at the last change. But the Sharks were too strong in the end, winning by 15 points. But the margin could have been greater, with the Sharks kicking 13 goals and 16 behinds on the day. Palm Beach Currumbin were too strong for Sherwood at the Magpie Nest in Brisbane. 3 goals from Nick Crowley and 2 goals from Jed Walter steadied the Lions all day and allowed them to lead at each stanza. A late surging Magpies put the Lions under pressure, but the Big Cats managed to close the game out by 6 points.
And here we are at round 15. And to commence the counts, let's start with the first game. Maroochydore v Morningside. 1 vote, Maroochydore, Zach Stone. 2 votes, Morningside, Henry Joyce. 3 votes, Morningside, Nathan Colenso. Redland Victoria Point v Mount Gravatt. 1 vote, Redland Victoria Point, Peter Yagmore. 2 votes, Redland Victoria Point, Mitch Stallard. 3 votes, Redland Victoria Point, Caleb Baker. Sherwood v Palm Beach Currumbin. 1 vote, Palm Beach Currumbin, AJ Dawson. 2 votes, Palm Beach Currumbin, Jonathan Crode. 3 votes, Sherwood, Luke Mitchell. Labrador v Surfers Paradise. 1 vote, Labrador, Dylan Fife. 2 votes, Surfers Paradise, Jack Yelland. 3 votes, Surfers Paradise, Nick Scott. Broadbeach v Wilston Grange. 1 vote, Broadbeach, Josh Searle. 2 votes, Broadbeach, Blake Erickson. 3 votes, Broadbeach, Liam Nelson. Let's now take a look at the round 16 highlights of the QAFL.
Mount Gravatt and Surfers Paradise kicked off the round with a close game at Southside Toyota Oval. The Vultures flew out of the blocks and led at quarter time, but multiple goals from Demons captain Brodie Haberfield and rising star Sam Hilton-Joyce turned the tide for the red and the blue. Haberfield finished with 5 majors and Hilton-Joyce snared 4. The Demons were the eventual winners by 23 points. Noosa had their chance of redemption against old rivals Maroochydore when they hosted the Roos at Rococo Oval. The mighty Roos hopped to an early lead and had the measure of the Tigers all day. Lockie Lang booted 4 goals and Mitch Scollard chimed in with 3 to lead the way from Maroochydore to a 54-point win in the Battle of the Sunny Coast. In the Derby of the South, Broadbeach and Palm Beach were in a 4-quarter arm wrestle. The Lions' Jamison Shea kicked 3 goals to give his team a boost, but league-leading goal kicker Jordan Moncrief kicked 6 majors alongside Nick Burton kicking 3 to keep the scoreboard pressure ticking over. It was too much to handle for the Lions in the end, and the Cats took the win by 21 points at Sulk Oval. In the Brisbane Crosstown Derby, Redland Victoria Point and Sherwood got their first real look at each other for the season. Sherwood were coming off a narrow loss to Palm Beach and the Sharks were out to rectify their inaccuracy against Mount Gravatt the week prior. Star forward Peter Yagmore slotted 5 majors for Redland Victoria Point as the Sharks marched to a comfortable 10-goal victory. With the biggest margin of the round, Labrador had a day out at Hickey Park, running rampant over Wilson Grange by 83 points. The Tigers' Bryce Retzlaff kicked 6 goals alongside Jake Goldsmith's 4. Retzlaff Hall was his second best for the year and helped the Tigers to storm home against the Gorillas.
And here we are for the round 16 votes, starting with our Sunshine Coast Derby, Noosa v Maroochydore. 1 vote, Maroochydore, Jacob Simpson. 2 votes, Noosa, Will O'Dwyer. 3 votes, Noosa, Aaron Lasky. Wollston Grange v Labrador, 1 vote, Wilston Grange, Shatner, Cashin Harris. 2 votes, Labrador, Alex Mackay. 3 votes, Labrador, Dylan Fife. Redland Victoria Point v Sherwood. 1 vote, Sherwood, Jack Austin. 2 votes, Redland Victoria Point, Peter Yagmore. 3 votes, Redland Victoria Point, Aaron Christensen. Mount Gravatt v Surfers Paradise. 1 vote, Mount Gravatt, Craig Malone. 2 votes, Surfers Paradise, Kane Ford. 3 votes, Surfers Paradise, Matthew Green. Palm Beach Currumbin v Broadbeach. 1 vote, Palm Beach Currumbin, Jonathan Crode. 2 votes, Palm Beach Currumbin, Ben McInerney. And 3 votes, from Broadbeach, Jordan Moncrief. As we head across now to our final round, round 17, let's take a look at the highlights.
In what would prove to be the final round of the 2021 QAFL season, Broadbeach, Redland Victoria Point and Palm Beach Currumbin would all have the final byes of the year. Sherwood were too good for Morningside at Jack Esplanade Oval after trailing in the first period. John Baker found his way into the game and kicked 5 goals for the day, with his partner in crime, Tom Bolsh, sneaking 4 through the big sticks to both guide the Magpies to their second win against their old foe in 2021. Mount Gravatt played host to Labrador in what ended up being the one that got away for the Vultures. Labrador raced ahead to a strong lead at the first break and a 34-point lead at half-time. The Tigers took a 42-point lead into the last term, but a fast finishing Mount Gravatt kicked 4 goals and kept the Tigers goalless in the last quarter. It would be all too late, however, with the Tigers winning by 18 points. In a game that swapped leaders on countless occasions, Surfers Paradise held off a resilient Maroochydore outfit at Sir Bruce Small Park. Matt Green kicked 3 goals for the Demons and proved to be the leveller they needed to get the edge over the Roos. The Demons prevailed by 17 points but had 23 scoring shots to the Roos 16, which kept the game tight all day. Wilston Grange had a dream first quarter, kicking 6 goals, 5 behinds to the Tigers' singular goal to lead 41-6 at the first break. Noosa rallied in the second term, but the mighty Gorillas had the measure of the Tigers all day, holding off a passionate Tigers outfit to take the final win of the season by 14 points, keeping the newcomers winless in their first QAFL season.
Well, what an absolutely fantastic 2021 QAFL season we had. Let's take a look now at the final votes for the QAFL season. And with no Broadbeach, Redland Victoria Point or Palm Beach playing in the final round, it'll be very interesting to see how the final leaderboard stacks up. Let's commence now with Morningside v Sherwood. 1 vote, Sherwood, Connor Bully. 2 votes, Sherwood, Tommy Bolch. 3 votes, Sherwood, Luca Winton. Mount Gravatt v Labrador. 1 vote, Labrador, Alex Mackay. 2 votes, Mount Gravatt, Jonah Light. 3 votes, Labrador, Tom Simpson. Wilston Grange v Noosa. 1 vote, Wilston Grange, Kwat Thok. 2 votes, Wilston Grange, Shatner, Cashin Harris. 3 votes, Wilston Grange, Sam Gribble. And our final game for 2021, Surfers Paradise v Maroochydore. 1 vote, Surfers Paradise, Jack Taylor. 2 votes, Maroochydore, Liam Jacker. 3 votes, Surfers Paradise, Kane Ford. It is now my absolute pleasure to announce the 2021 QAFL Best and Fairest, and our 76th J.A Grogan medalist is Jordan Moncrief from the Broadbeach Cats. A huge congratulations to Jordan and the whole Broadbeach Cats outfit. Let's now take a look at Jordan's highlights for 2021.
In just his second QAFL season with the Broadbeach Cats, Jordan Moncrief, the former Mount Eliza and Casey Demon power forward, has cemented his position as one of the best forwards in the Queensland State League. He was unstoppable in 2021, kicking 55 goals from just the 12 games that he played. Missing 5 games due to the COVID cancellation of community football, it would have been exciting to see how many more the Mayor could have kicked for his beloved Cats.
His target on 3, another snap around the corner, it's another one for the Mayor, is it? Yes it is.
Jordan polled votes in 8 of his 12 games played, being rated best on ground on 4 occasions.
Outstanding from Jordan Moncrief.
Congratulations, Jordan. What an incredible season. Taking home the prestigious 76th J.A Grogan Medal and the John Wren Trophy as the league best and fairest. Also winning the leading goal kicker and being named as full forward in the 2021 QAFL Team of the Year. Let's recap the final leaderboard. And a shout out to Sherwood's Luca Winton. What a great end to the season for Luca to come in third on 13 votes. From the D's, Matthew Green on 17 votes, been hot on Jordan's tail, but of course Jordan Moncrief from the Broadbeach Cats, our 2021 J.A Grogan medalist with 19 votes. Well, that concludes our virtual awards ceremony. Whilst it has been a disruptive season due to COVID, we must take a step back and realise how lucky we are to be playing grand finals this weekend when you look at other codes and competitions around the country which have been cancelled. A lot of work has gone into completing seasons and ensuring we can award premierships, and a big thank you and well done to AFL Queensland and also all of our QAFL and Bond University QAFLW clubs for their patience, cooperation and support. Good luck to all our grand finalists this weekend, and we look forward to delivering an even bigger and better State League football season in Queensland in 2022. Good night.